Hello everybody, Tiri back again with another video. And of course guys, today's video is gonna be about talking about yesterday's matches between Stefanos Tsitsipas versus Andrei Rublev, and then the other blockbuster match, the heavyweight match between Rafael Nadal versus Dominic Thiem. And I'm gonna start talking about the Stefanos Tsitsipas match versus Rublev first, and then I will end with the Rafael Nadal versus Dominic Thiem. Stefanos, he won the match after an epic battle. The first set was not that epic. Rublev was like against Nadal. I don't know if the guy was nervous, but he has had some really bad starts and slow starts in his first two matches here in ATP Tour Finals in London. Against Nadal, he also had a really bad start, and the same scenario was against Tsitsipas. Against Tsitsipas, it was even worse, to be quite honest. So, like against Nadal, Rublev was serving really way too bad, too little first serves in. I believe he landed in the first set against Tsitsipas 40% first serves in. Similar numbers like he had against Nadal. Against Nadal, he had 41% first serves in that first set. So that will not make the job done for Rublev, that's for sure. So, and he of course he lost the set with two breaks, 6-1. So Tsitsipas gave Rublev a breadstick in that first set. But after the first set, Rublev actually he raised up his level because he needs to. He cannot play like that if he wants to win a tennis match in this high level where the eight best players in the world are anticipating, besides Federer, who is injured. So, and Rublev, he raised his level. He started to serve better. He landed, I believe, in the second set 67% first serves in, and did less unforced errors, because in the first set Rublev did 8 unforced errors and only 2 winners. That is too little. Only 2 winners will not be enough to take a set from Stefanos Tsitsipas, that's for sure. Stefanos, he played solid in the first set, 6 winners, 3 unforced errors. Rublev didn't see any breakpoint opportunities in the first set, of course. Stefanos, he had 2 breakpoint opportunities and he capitalized in both of them. 2 breaks of serve, 6-1, gave Rublev the breadstick, and the set was in his bag, in Stefanos' bag. And in the second set, Rublev started to find his gear, raise his level, serve better, cut down his unforced errors, and that paid off in the 10th game of the second set when he braked Stefanos' serve to love and won the second set 6-4. And then in the third set, it was no server breaks, no breaks of serve, I should say. Even though the Stefanos had chances, he had 5 breakpoint opportunities, if I'm not mistaken, the entire third set. But Rublev was saving all of them and was playing clutch tennis in the third set when he was saving all those 5 breakpoint opportunities that Stefanos had in the third set. And Rublev took that third set to a tiebreak, where that tiebreak, of course, could have gone either way, but most probably it should have gone Rublev's way, because he had a match point when he was serving for the match in that 6-5 point in the third set. But he choked, he was nervous, he did a double fault, and after that Stefanos won 3 straight points and won that tiebreak 8-6 with really clutch big points winning there. When Rublev gave him that Christmas present in that match point that Rublev had, Stefanos didn't need more than so, and he did then 2 great points to win that tiebreak 8-6. All in all, Stefanos, to be quite honest, was the better player here. He was the player who created most chances. He had 9 breakpoint opportunities, and he capitalized in 2 of them, only in the first set. And Rublev only saw breakpoints in the second set, really, in that 10th game of the second set, when he braked Stefanos' serve to love. So that was the only time Rublev saw breakpoint opportunities, and he capitalized. But in the first set, he didn't see any breakpoint opportunities. In the third set, Rublev didn't see any breakpoint opportunities. So Stefanos was the player who was creating more chances. Stefanos was the player who did. Who was more consistent throughout the match, did less unforced errors than Rublev, and just did more winners than unforced errors. Comparing to Rublev, I believe Stefanos did 24 winners and only 16 unforced errors. So Stefanos does 8 more winners than unforced errors, and Rublev, on the other hand, he does 32 unforced errors and 26 winners. So Rublev does, if I'm correct here, 6 more unforced errors than winners. So all in all, Stefanos wins 92 points and Rublev wins 82 points. So Stefanos wins 10 more points than Andrei Rublev. So in my opinion, Stefanos Tsitsipas was clearly the better player. He was. If Rublev would have won this match, it would kind of been like he would have stolen this match, in my opinion at least. Stefanos, he served great, 69% first serves in 10 aces, non-double fault. I don't think Stefanos did any double fault in the entire match. He won 80% behind his first serve, Stefanos, and won 60% behind his second serve. So really good serving performance from Stefanos Tsitsipas. And Rublev, he didn't serve that great. He served okay, solid, but he landed exactly the same number of serves like he did against Rafael Nadal. 62% first serves in Rublev landed, and he won 76% behind those first serves, behind those first serves. Which is a great number. To win 76% behind your first serve, it is really good. But and he was really good winning behind his second serves as well. He won 49% behind his second serves. Look, guys, winning close to 50% behind your second serves is always good. It is really always good. And winning over 50% behind your second serve, like Tsitsipas did with 60% winning behind the second serves, it is exceptional. So Rublev did a much better match than he did against Nadal, and he almost won this match. He almost stole this match, even though he was not the better player the entire match. But you know, guys, in tennis, you don't always need to be the better player to win a match. You can sometimes steal a match if you win the big points. And Rublev didn't win the biggest point of the match. And that was when he had that match point in his own serve when he double faulted. And he paid the price. If you don't capitalize, he capitalized in the second set when he had those only break points, when he braked Stefanos' serve for the first and only time. But when he had the chance to serve out for the match with his own serve, he just got tight and got nervous and did a double fault. He will get over it. He's young, but he is now eliminated for the tournament, like I exactly predicted before the tournament started. I never believed in Rublev. I really had a feeling that Rublev would be the new Medvedev from the last year. And deja vu, it is almost being like that. Medvedev lost all his 3 matches last year. And let's see if Rublev can do it. Maybe he will do it. Who knows? Dominic Thiem, we have to wait and see how motivated Dominic Thiem will be in that third match, because we all know that Dominic Thiem is through to the semifinals here in Nitto ATP Finals in London. The first player to be that. And even Rublev had a match point against Stefanos Tsitsipas, exactly like Medvedev actually had against Nadal in last year. So let's see if Rublev will be the new Medvedev from last year and lose all his 3 matches. Let's see. I have a feeling that might be the case. Stefanos Tsitsipas is through. He's still alive in this tournament, and he will face Rafael Nadal for a spot to take that second spot on the semifinal after Dominic Thiem secured his spot in the semifinals after beating Rafael Nadal in my opinion, the best 3-set match in the 2020 season, in this short and strange pandemic 2020 season. My God, what a match we saw. What a shot-making match we saw from both players. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, before the match started, I gave Rafa Nadal my slight edge. I'm always honest, you know guys, even when I'm right and when I'm wrong. I gave Rafa Nadal my slight edge. I said that Rafa has the slight edge, 55% to 45%, even 50-50. But of course, I am not surprised that Dominic Thiem won whatsoever. How can you be surprised when the world number 3 beats the world number 2? You cannot be surprised. The margins in tennis are this slim, guys. And trust me, they were that in this match as well. Even though that this was a straight sets victory for Dominic Thiem, we all know that this straight sets victory could have gone either way. Rafa could also has won this match in straight sets victory if he would have won these 2 tiebreaks. But guys, you know what I've said in my previous videos, you who follow my channel, Dominic Thiem is the tiebreak beast. Dominic Thiem is the tiebreak animal. Dominic Thiem is the tiebreak monster. In the 2020 season, you don't want to be in a tiebreak with this dude in the 2020 season. I don't remember, yes I do remember, the last time Dominic Thiem lost a tiebreak was against Andrei Rublev in that Vienna quarterfinal match. 7-5, if I'm not mistaken, he lost that tiebreak in that first set. But if you look at his latest 11 tiebreaks played in this year, Dominic Thiem has won 10 of those. 10! So, obviously, I was joking with not joking, I was really serious, with a friend of mine, Suat Kaya, by the way, who also has a tennis channel. I hope you guys follow his brilliant channel. And I said that when Thiem won the first set, I said to him, I predict that the second set will go to tiebreak as well. And guess who will win that tiebreak? Do we even need to say his name? And voila, it was exactly what happened. The second set went to a tiebreak as well, and Thiem won that second set tiebreak as well. 7-4. Let's talk about the match. This was a crazy shot-making match from the first ball to the last ball. And what is the key to defeat Rafa Nadal? What is the key to defeat him? The key to defeat Rafa Nadal is to play consistently from the first point to the last point. If you don't play consistently, I don't care if it's grass, or if it is indoors hardcourt, or if it is hardcourt outdoors, or if it is clay for sure, practically clay, you cannot have any letdowns. You cannot take vacations and take a flight to Rhodes or to Hawaii. No. You cannot do that. You cannot afford that to do against this consistency machine like Rafa Nadal. You have to be present. You have to be in the match, entire match, from the first point to the last point, and not give Rafa Nadal an inch of a chance. And oh my God, Dominic Thiem did exactly that. He didn't let Rafael Nadal from out of his jaws for a minute. Nothing. Dominic Thiem had only one letdown the entire match, and that was in that 3-all game in the second set when he did some errors and Rafa Nadal braked his serve for the first time in the entire match. But of course, that was only, and that was not a vacation that Thiem took. It was just a coffee break. He just took a coffee break for a couple of minutes, and then he said, no. I cannot take this coffee break for more than 3, 4, 5 minutes, because if I do that, this consistency beast, Rafael Nadal, he will turn the match around and beat me in 3 sets. And Dominic, he braked immediately back, and then had 3 match points in that 4-5 game, in that 10th game of the second set. when he was up 40 love in Rafa serve, but Rafa was coming with really, really clutch tennis and saved all those match points that Dominic had. It was not like Dominic played bad by any means, but Rafa he just came up with the goods. He came up with the goods. Let's face it, he came up with the goods. And just especially at the net, I always said that Nadal is one of the greatest players in the world at the net. He really is. Yeah, I know it doesn't go to the net as much as Roger does, or as much as Feliciano Lopez does, to mention some players who likes to play to the net time to time. But when he does, he almost never misses. He almost never misses. And we saw a proof of that in this match against Dominic Thiem, especially the first set. I thought that in the second set he went forward to the net less times, but in the first set he attacked the net many times, Rafa Nadal, and he was really, really successful. He should do that more. He really should have done that more in the second set as well. But anyway, Rafa saved himself in that 10th game of the second set, and then we had another tiebreak in the second set. But once again, you cannot beat this dude in the tiebreak, at least not this year, Dominic Thiem. I don't know how Rublev did that in Vienna when he defeated him that tiebreak in the first set, but it is a different Dominic Thiem we see. Look guys, when it comes to big tournaments, Dominic Thiem, he raises his level. He has become a big tournament player. He has become a big match player. Look at Australian Open. He was in the final there. Look at, not French Open. Look at US Open. He won the title there. And now look at here in Nitto ATP finals in London. He has raised his level once again when the big tournaments arrives. And when it comes to crunch times, when it comes to close and big moments like tiebreaks, he's the braver player. He goes for his shots. He's not passive like I can feel sometimes that players like Nadal and Djokovic can be. We know Djokovic, when he goes to tiebreaks, it is not like Djokovic is murderous brave. Djokovic just closes the store. He closes the store with unforced errors. He just refuses to miss. Dominic, I don't feel the same with him. I feel that Dominic, when it comes to tiebreaks, he just raises his level and goes for his shots even more and plays with depth and speeds up. He hits his shots even harder. They are hard already, but in tiebreaks, he just hits his heavy ground strokes even harder to make life a nightmare for his opponents. And my God, he has done that the entire year in tiebreaks. And he did that against Rafa Nadal for the 5th time this year, by the way. He took 3 tiebreaks that they played in Australian Open, where he defeated Nadal in that quarterfinal in 4 sets. And now he took 2 tiebreaks against Rafa Nadal in this match as well. So Rafa has lost the last 5 tiebreaks that he has played against Dominic Thiem. But Rafa should not be ashamed of that, because he's not the only one who have done that, to say the least. The first set was not any breaks. They held their serve pretty comfortably, more or less. None of these players saw any break point opportunities. In the second set, like I said, Dominic was the who blinked first with a sloppy game in that 3-all game when Rafa braked with superb shot making of tennis, with superb attacking tennis, and that paid off. But like I said, Dominic, he braked back immediately, and then Dominic had 3 match points in that 10th game of the second set, which Rafa saved with tremendously good tennis. And then in that tiebreak, in the second set tiebreak, Dominic was just a better player, was the more consistent player, was the more brave player, and won the second set tiebreak 7-4. The first set tiebreak, Rafa really should have won that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he had 2 set points in that first set tiebreak. He was up in the lead 5-2, but you are never safe even when you are up in the lead in tiebreaks against Dominic Thiem. Just ask Stefan Tsitsipas a couple of days ago. He also was up in the lead in that first set tiebreak 4-1, but we all know what happened. Stefanos lost that first set tiebreak anyway, and the same with Rafa Nadal. Because Dominic, he just has the problem with Dominic when he plays this kind of brutal, heavy, monstrous, murderously tennis. He's unplayable, guys. He's unplayable. I mean it. He's unplayable. The problem is he doesn't do this in consistently throughout the season. He just doesn't do it. He didn't do that against Schwartzman in the quarterfinal in French Open, even though he was up in the lead 2-1. So he doesn't do that all the time. It's not Rafa Nadal. It's not Novak Djokovic. Of obvious reasons. That's why he has not won as many titles as those two icons has done. But he can do it time to time. He's doing it more than not, especially more than he did 3, 4, 5 years ago. He's in his peak of his career. He's 27 years old. He's the world number 3. He has never had a better ranking than he has at the current moment. And why should he not show more consistently results more and more when he's at his peak of his career? Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic, they are not at their peak of careers. They are still at the absolute, they are still amazing as tennis players, absolutely, but they are not at the peak of careers. So we should not be that deadly surprised that Dominic Thiem is beating Rafa Nadal and Djokovic and Federer. Federer he has owned pretty much more or less a long time now, but he's defeating Djokovic and Nadal more and more nowadays. All in all, this was a tremendous good performance from both players, to be quite honest, guys. Dominic, I just feel that when it comes to serving, they didn't quite land as many first serves as they did in their first matches. Dominic, he landed 73% first serves in against Stefan Tsitsipas. That I knew will not happen ever again in this tournament. To serve 73%, that is quite unusual for Dominic Thiem. It is quite unusual because I followed his careers in so many years now. So I knew that he would go down with his first serve percentage, which he did. He landed 59% first serves in this match against Nadal. And Nadal also went down in his first serve percentage. Because against Rublev he landed 72% first serves in, and in this match against Domi he landed only 60% first serves in. So I knew that this will be a change. They cannot serve like they did in the first match. But what they did good, they did tremendously good behind their first serves. They were so clutch in the plus serve points. Dominic, he won, if I'm not mistaken, 76% behind his first serves. That is really good. 76% to win behind your first serves. That is tremendously good. And Nadal won 69. So Dominic obviously was much better than Nadal, winning points behind his first serves. Dominic won 76% behind his first serves. Nadal, he won 69. So and I'm going to tell you why Dominic won more behind his first serves. I'm going to come to that in a few seconds, or later in a few minutes. Behind his second serves, Rafa won more. And I'm going to explain to that why. Rafa won 59 behind his second serves. 59%, which is really good. Like I said, to win over 50% behind your second serves, that is exceptional. That is superb. That is really, really good. Because, let's face it, your second serve will never be as good as your first serve. And to win so many points behind your second serve, like Dominic won 53% and Rafa even better, 59%, that is tremendously good. But Dominic was better than Rafa, winning points behind his first serve. 76%, Rafa 69%. So, and when it comes to winning, unforced errors, stats, errors, Dominic, man, my God, he did 37 winners. That is insane. To hit the ball as hard as he does, to go for your shots as much as he does, to pull the trigger as much as he does, and to do 37 winners and only 22 unforced errors. He does 15 more winners than unforced errors. 15 more. That is deadly impressive considering how much he goes for his shots. A player like Nadal will always do less unforced errors. Rafa Nadal is a low percentage of tennis player. I'm sorry, Rafa Nadal is a high percentage of tennis player. He is not a player who will take a big amount of cut on the ball. He takes cuts on the ball. He goes for his shots as well. I'm not saying that he's passive. No, he can sometimes be passive, but not. Especially was that in the past when he was younger. But in his older days, he's not passive that crazy much. He goes for his shots as well, but he will never be a low percentage of tennis player. He will always be a high percentage of tennis player, and he will always do less unforced errors. But Dominic Thiem, he is not a high percentage of tennis player. He's a low percentage of tennis player. He goes for his shots, and when you go for your shot as much as he does, and to do only 22 unforced errors, against a player like Nadal, who is not that easy hitting through, even though he's much easier hitting through outside clay, but he's still not easy hitting through. He did only 22 unforced errors and 37 winners. My God, that is deadly impressive. He does 15 more winners than unforced errors. Rafa did a great match in that department as well. He does 16 unforced errors and 25 winners. So Rafa does 9 more winners than unforced errors. That is also really good. That is also exceptionally good. 9 more winners from Rafa Nadal's record than unforced errors, but from Dominic Thiem's record, even better. 15 more winners than unforced errors. This match was really close, even though it was a straight sets victory. And I thought that my feeling before the match, I thought that Rafa will penetrate, will attack Dominic Thiem's backhand. Which was the case. Am I surprised? No. We all know that Dominic Thiem's forehand is lethal, is murderous good. His backhand is inconsistent. And Rafa, of course, will attack that side. And he did with heavy depth shots to his backhand. But the thing was that Dominic's backhand didn't break down, which I thought it will do. It never did. Dominic, he was finding that down the line backhand so beautifully and was punishing Rafa Nadal with so great down the line backhands. And that was the key for Dominic Thiem to win this match. How do you defeat Dominic Thiem? By attacking his backhand, of course, and by breaking down his backhand, like Djokovic did in Australian Open final earlier this year, especially in the 4th and the 5th set, because we all know that Dominic Thiem was up in the lead against Djokovic in the Australian Open final earlier this year, 2-1 up in the lead. But in the 4th and in the 5th set, Djokovic braked Dominic Thiem's backhand more and more. Dominic Thiem's backhand failed and let him down in the Australian Open final, but it definitely didn't do that in this match against Nadal. And that is the key. And I've seen Nadal breaking down Dominic Thiem's backhand before, especially in French Open finals, both in 2018 and 2019. He braked Dominic Thiem's backhand in both those 2 French Open finals. But in this match, Rafa just couldn't break it down. Dominic was so steady, so stable with that shot throughout the match, and that was, in my opinion, the key to win the match for Dominic. And Dominic, this tactic, I could clearly see the game plan was obvious. Dominic was attacking Rafa's backhand, Rafa was attacking Dominic's backhand, which we all understand. They are afraid of each other's forehands because they both have better forehands than backhands, and especially Dominic. Rafa's backhand is, in my opinion, much more solid than Dominic's backhand. You don't see Rafa's backhand being broken down way too often, but I've seen Dominic's backhand being broken down many times in the past, but not so many times in this year, to be quite honest. As I'm not seeing Dominic's backhand being broken down this year so crazy many times. Anyway, look guys, this match they played 167 points. 167 points they played. And 93 of these points were 0 to 5 shots. And when do you win a tennis match, my friends? When you win the battle in the short rallies, in the short points. And in that battle, Dominic won that. in the 0-4 shots. 93 points was played in the 0-4 shots out of 167 points in the entire match that they played. And Dominic won 51 of those points and Rafa won 42 points of those points. So Dominic wins 9 more points than Rafa and Nadal on 0-4 shots. And that's why Dominic, he had a better stat on winning points behind his first serve, 76%, compared to Rafa, 69%. Because Dominic was the better player in 0-4 shots, winning 51 points and Rafa winning 42 points. When it comes to 5-8 shots, they played 33 points in that department. 33 points. And even in that department, Dominic was better. Not much better there. He won 18 points and Rafa won 15 points. So Dominic wins 3 more points than Rafa Nadal in the 5-8 shots rallies. The only stat here that Rafa in the baseline rallies that Rafa was better was the 9+ shots rallies. In the 9+ shots rallies, they played 37 points, and Rafa won 23 of those points, and Dominic won 14 of those points. So Rafa wins 9 more points than Dominic in the 9+ shots rallies. But that didn't win Rafa the match. Like I said, to win the match in a tennis match, the majority of matches you win in tennis is when you win the short rallies, the 0-4 shots. And that was the case in this match with Dominic Thiem. Dominic was winning the 0-4 shots. Dominic was winning the 5-8 shots. The only rallies that Rafa won was the brutal long rallies, the 9+ rally shots, like I said, 23 times, and Dominic won 14 times. But that didn't win Rafa the match. All in all, this match was a close battle. Like I said, they played 167 points, and Dominic wins 86 points, and Rafa wins 81 points. So Dominic wins 5 more points than Rafa Nadal. Only 5 more points, guys, even though it was a straight sets victory. So that tells us that this was a close fight. But Dominic was just a more clutch player. Dominic just raised his level in the tie breaks, and in the end won the match, and he was the deserving champion. All in all, Dominic actually was slightly the better player. He created more chances. I believe that Rafa had only 2 breakpoint opportunities, and that was of course in the second set, because in the first set none of these players had any breakpoint opportunities, and Rafa capitalized in one of them. And Dominic, he had 5 breakpoint opportunities in the second set, and he capitalized in only one of them. So Dominic was creating more chances, especially in the second set, more than Rafa Nadal. So he was the better player, he was the braver player, he was the more clutch player. And look, guys, when Dominic plays like this, Dominic plays with error-free tennis match with a great backhand, especially when he hits that backhand down the line, he's more or less invincible. Trust me, he's more or less invincible. His higher level is outrageous. You cannot beat. Do you think Rafa did a bad match? He didn't do bad. Rafa did some crucial mistakes. Yes, he did. In that tie break when he was up in the lead 5-2. Not when, in some points he did some crucial mistakes. Even in the second set, he did some crucial bad returns in that tie break in the second set as well. All in all, Rafa didn't do a bad match. He didn't return superbly good, but Dominic didn't return superbly good either. But he returned just a little better than Nadal. Little better. They both break each other's serves only one time, both times in the second set. So Rafa didn't do a bad match. Trust me, Rafa never does bad matches. But Dominic, he just was firing in all his cylinders. And when he's firing in all his cylinders, he's more or less invincible. He's more or less invincible, my tennis fans all around the world. But the problem with Dominic is he doesn't fire in all his cylinders all the time. He just doesn't do it. Dominic Thiem is through to the semi-final, and now let's see who will join him from this London group. I think it will be Rafa Nadal. We will have a match between Rafa Nadal and Stefanos Tsitsipas tomorrow. It will be a match of who will join Dominic Thiem to that semi-final stage. I have said Nadal and Thiem will go through from this group. I said from the beginning that Tsitsipas will do it when I didn't know if Dominic was healthy or not. But Dominic is obviously very, very healthy. We can clearly see that now. So I think that even though that Stefanos did a much better match against Rublev, I must say, because Stefanos did a weaker match against Thiem. Stefanos did 26 unforced errors against Thiem. He did only 16 against Rublev. So he did cut down his unforced errors with 10. So he did 10 less unforced errors against Rublev than he did against Thiem, Stefanos Tsitsipas. But again, Rublev is total different player than Thiem. Thiem will always put much more pressure on you than Rublev will do. But anyway, Stefanos Tsitsipas is playing better than he did in the first match. So he will give Rafa Nadal a challenge. I truly believe that, especially when you have that good of serve like Stefanos has. But I predict that if Nadal plays like this against Stefanos Tsitsipas, like he did against Thiem, Nadal would have defeated many players in the world with this performance. I truly believe that. But just against Thiem, against a clutch beast like Thiem, he has been really clutch beast this year at least. He just came short. He came short. It was just a matter of 1 point here and there. If Rafa would have clinched that first set, who knows what would have happened? He maybe would have won the match. But anyway, I think that Rafa will join Thiem from this group. That is my feeling. Maybe I will be wrong. Who knows? Maybe Stefanos Tsitsipas will prove me wrong. The head-to-head is 5-1 to Rafa Nadal. But the head-to-head doesn't mean everything in tennis. That just shows what has happened in the past. What has happened in the past is history. So it is not impossible for Stefanos Tsitsipas to beat Dominic Thiem whatsoever. I'm sorry, to beat Rafa Nadal whatsoever. But I will go with Nadal beating Stefanos Tsitsipas. Say 3 sets. I will say 3 sets Rafa comes through Stefanos Tsitsipas. Alright guys, this has been a long video. It needed to be a long video considering what kind of matches we saw. Both these 2 matches was really good to see and to follow, especially the Dominic Thiem Rafa Nadal match, even though it was straight set victory for Dominic Thiem, but it was, in my opinion, the best 3-set match I've seen in the 2020 season. So we have 2 matches ahead of us later today. The first one is between Alexander Sasha Zverev versus Diego Schwartzman. The head-to-head there is 2-all, if I'm not mistaken. But last time they played was in Vienna, in Cologne, in the final, where Alexander Sasha Zverev just smoked Diego Schwartzman out of the court in straight sets. Alexander Sasha Zverev did a horrible match against Medvedev in his first match. I don't think that Sasha will do that kind of a horrible match again. He will not do 29 unforced errors again. I don't think so, but you never know. These players are sometimes like Kinder Eggs. Like Kinder Eggs. You don't know what you never know what you will get from them. So especially the players who are not named Djokovic and Nadal. But I think that Sasha Zverev will defeat Diego. He will just be too strong with his serve, too powerful off the ground, and he will hit through Diego because it is much. You know how to defeat Diego. Diego puts a lot of balls into the court, but he's not as good outside clay as he is on clay. You hit through Diego much easier outside clay, and I think Sasha will hit through Diego. But if Sasha plays like he did against Medvedev, he will for sure not have a chance, and he even admitted that himself after the Medvedev match. And the other match between Djokovic and Medvedev, that match can go either way. The head-to-head is 4-2 to Djokovic. But Djokovic, man, what I saw Djokovic in the first match against Diego Schwartzman, do I dare to go against Djokovic? No, I don't dare. Djokovic was so superb against Diego, and Diego didn't do a bad match. In my opinion, Diego didn't do a bad match against Djokovic, but Djokovic was so superb, so solid, so consistent. From the baseline, he just outplayed Diego from the baseline. And Medvedev was not as impressive against Sasha Zverev as Novak was against Diego. So I will go with Novak Djokovic beating Medvedev in 3 sets. And I will go Sasha Zverev beating Diego Schwartzman in straight sets. Alright guys, this has been a long video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care and bye bye.